Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of Money Matters Top Tips for Success, where each and every day I bring on new business owners, entrepreneurs, and executives and have them share their top tips for success with you. My name is Adam Torres. You can follow me on Instagram at AskAdamTorres. Keep up with my book releases, book tour schedule, signings, all that other good stuff. Always love to connect with you there. And as always, if you'd like to apply to become a co-author of one of my upcoming books, just head on over to the website, moneymatterstoptips.com, and click on Become an Author to apply. All right, today I have Kevin Busque on the line, and he's the CEO over at Guideline Inc. Kevin, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Adam.
So I'm excited to get more into what you're doing over at Guideline Inc. and how you're helping your clients. But before we do that, let's get a little bit further into your background. So how did you get started in your career and in business?
Yeah, absolutely. I first started, I guess I've always been an entrepreneur. I had my own computer assembly company in high school, which helped me pay for college, which I did a degree in computer information science. And then I moved on to IBM out of college. And then from there, I've had sort of the startup bug. So I did a bunch of startups in and around the Boston area in healthcare and in information technology. In 2008, I co-founded a company called TaskRabbit here in the Bay Area. And then 2015, I founded Guideline with two other co-founders.
Wow. So you're a startup guy all the way from high school. I love that. You had a computer company in high school. It's amazing. So that being said, there's some other entrepreneurs listening right now that maybe aren't as far along as you and don't have as much experience in that startup world. And maybe they're just graduating college, they're just getting started. What kind of advice would you give to that fresh entrepreneur that's really just getting started in the startup world with their first venture?
Great question. I think for me, it's always been about, passion about building a product that I wanted myself, or maybe I didn't see that it was available in the market. And really taking it on, and I've always been a builder, taking that on and building things for the right reason. I think, today in Silicon Valley, entrepreneurship looks glamorous and all of that. And I think if you start out with that mindset, you won't get very far. I think you truly have to want to build something that you want yourself. And in my experience, building something that I may want myself, I'm a pretty average guy. Other people will want it as well. And sort of I've let that be my guiding light on why, and sort of my, I guess, the chip on my shoulder on what to build and, following that through. So I would say, find your passion on what it is that you want to bring to market. And I think that'll give you a long runway and sort of the energy to get there.
That's awesome. Great advice there, Kevin. Let's switch it up a bit. I do want to, you touched on it slightly, but I want to go further. So tell us more about Guideline Inc., please.
Yeah, absolutely. So Guideline, we're essentially a purpose-built small business retirement platform. So our very first product has been 401k. It's a turnkey solution for small businesses that typically don't have access to a retirement product. And by that, I mean we own and have built our own technology stack. So we call it a full stack solution. So all the way from record keeping all the way up to where we deliver an end user experience on our website, we own and we control. And that is unique in the retirement space. Typically, you outsource things like 316 administration, 338, a lot of acronyms in our space. But what it means is there's a lot of middlemen in our space that charge asset-based fees. Guideline's a technology company. We pride ourselves on delivering great software, and we like to cut out middlemen that aren't adding value. And that's unique to this space. So we have a very simple solution. It's automatically connected to your payroll and fully integrated, where it can be turnkey for small business owners. So no business is too small for our product, and we monetize it just like Gmail or Slack. If your employees use it, we charge you $8 per employee per month, and that is it. And that's the end goal. Make it super simple. Provide an amazing retirement product. And that has been our very first product. About 2 weeks ago, we launched our IRA product, which is an IRA or individual retirement account. This is to allow people to keep their benefits as they transition from employers. So if you're employed at one company and then you transition and take a new job somewhere else, you can do a one-button rollover into the Guideline IRA, keep your same investment philosophy, and not pay asset-based fees whatsoever. And we discount the fee from $8 to $2 depending on an account balance. So we like to help people keep that same investment philosophy and really impact their retirement outcome.
Wow, that's amazing. And you're definitely a disruptor in that whole fintech / retirement space with your model and with your charging or with your fee schedule. That being said, what's the sweet spot for your business? You mentioned, for the type of company and or size of company that should be looking into Guideline. So you mentioned there's no business that's too small. So meaning obviously the one person or the sole proprietor would be a good fit for this. How large of a company should be looking at a solution like this?
Yeah, as I mentioned, we have businesses that are one person or one employee, all the way up to our largest client is 1,700 employees. So really, we range. That's a huge. When you're talking about small businesses, but I think we perform very well in the 1 to 500 space. In that space, so we can be more expensive on the high end, but it's just so much better of a benefit when you're not passing on asset-based fees to your employees. And I think that is the trick, right? So you either agree that you're going to provide this amazing benefit, and by the way, it's like less than offering coffee for your employees. It's less than your Gmail account, it's less than your Slack account, and you're providing a real true benefit for financial wellness in the end. So either you get that or you don't, and you pass the buck to the participants, which is the traditional method. And the average, expense passed on to a participant is like 1.5% to 1.75% annually, and that can be $400,000 to $600,000 in retirement. So it's a big deal to take on a benefit like this and offer it to your employees. And employees are very thankful for the small business owner taking on that burden.
Wow, that's absolutely amazing. Love to hear what you're doing. Love to hear the benefit you're doing, and I love that you've now expanded to IRAs so that when they leave their employer, they can still keep their accounts with you and still have that favorable treatment. So, all just great news there, Kevin. Love the work and love the methodology behind what you're doing. So, Kevin, if somebody's listening to this and they're an employer, and because a lot of business owners, a lot of entrepreneurs listening to this that didn't even know this was an option. So that being said, if they're listening right now and they want to learn more about Guideline Inc. because they either want to offer this benefit to their employees or maybe they want to start their first retirement plan for their business, this would be a great entry point for those smaller business owners, because that's another thing for some of the bigger companies. They don't necessarily want those smaller businesses that have 1 or 2 employees. So I was pretty surprised when you told me, yep, all the way down from 1 employee all the way to 1,700. There's very few companies that would even take that on. So that being said, what's the best way, Kevin, for them to reach out and learn more about Guideline Inc.?
Yeah, absolutely. You can go direct to guideline.com, but you can also connect with us directly through your existing payroll provider. So whether you have Gusto or Intuit or Zenefits, OnPay, et cetera, you can go right in there, and we're fully integrated with those solutions. You can add the benefit through their existing payroll portal, or you can come to Guideline and do it in reverse. You can come to Guideline, sign up. It's super easy. It takes less than 8 minutes to get your account and get it connected to payroll. Everything, once you connect to payroll, happens automatically for you. And we'll have account managers on the back end to answer any questions that you might have. But either entry point is perfect.
Fantastic. Well, hey, Kevin, really appreciate you coming on the show today and sharing more about your background and all the great work you're doing over at Guideline Inc. And to the audience, as always, thank you for tuning in. Hope you got a lot of value out of this. If you did, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast, leave me a review on the Apple iTunes store, share this with your friends and family. Do all those great things we do to support our podcasters. I really do appreciate it. And Kevin, thanks again for coming on the show.